Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I last posted a review on this channel, but today we're going to be talking about Suzume, The Little Mermaid, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and Transformers Rise of the Beast. So, let's start off with Suzume, an anime film directed by Makoto Shinkai. It tells a story about a girl in high school named Suzume who goes on an adventure with another character, and they must close these doors before they lead to supernatural events like earthquakes or tsunamis. These doors are magical. I know it's been a while since I last saw this film, but I just wanted to get off my chest because it was a film that I really enjoyed. I think the animation is fantastic. In the big, giant, catastrophic scenes, it looks great, extremely detailed. There's a lot going on, and you can tell the amount of effort that went into animating all of these scenes. What made my experience better for watching this film was that I saw it in IMAX, and damn, it looked really good. Sharp, crisp. Damn, it's a really good looking movie, and the direction is great in the film. There's so many fun sequences where they're chasing this cat around, this magical cat that can talk. All those sequences just look great, and there's a lot of play with depth of fields in this film, and it just looks really good. Trust me, it's a dazzling looking film. And I thought the music was great. There's a lot of fun, exciting, serious moments in the score, as well as some kind of not horrifying but dreadful moments, especially near the end when we get more into the catastrophic events of the film. I liked all the characters, and I especially liked our main character Suzume. She has a lot going on with her. She lost her mother during the tsunami and earthquake that happened back in 2011. And something I've heard about this director is that he makes films about natural disasters. And I've heard people say that this film was just a copy and paste of his other films. But because I've only seen the last half of Your Name, which is another film that he directed from 2016 that I heard was phenomenal, I didn't feel a lot of that here just because I haven't seen much of the director's other work. But I could still tell that this was a very powerful story in certain aspects. I do have a few gripes with the film, though. I think that it could be a little slow in the second act, and it feels like the same things just keep happening over and over again. The characters meet someone, they gotta close the door. They meet other people, they gotta close the door. And I get that they all have something small to do with building up Suzume's character, especially with her running away and her auntie, being distraught about it. Oh my god, I gotta find her. It just feels like repetition happening over and over again. It just feels like the same thing happening over and over again. But the sequences are fun, they look great. It's an exciting film in certain aspects, but it becomes like a weird road trip film near the end of the second act, and it was honestly kind of not boring but uneventful. And there's certain things that happen involving like a new character that just gets brought up near the end of the film, and I'm thinking I really don't care. But overall, I did enjoy this film. I thought it was spectacularly looking, looks dazzling, sound design's great, the music, the score is great, it's fun, imaginative characters, and fun, exciting sequences. I'm giving Suzume a B+. I really want to check it out again. Once I see it on Blu-ray, I'm definitely picking it up because, damn, it looked really good. Now let's move on to The Little Mermaid, directed by Rob Marshall. This is the newest live-action Disney remake, of course, being the remake of the 1989 classic, The Little Mermaid. And I thought this movie was pretty good. I didn't hate it. I actually really enjoyed myself. The best part about this film is Halle Bailey as Ariel. I think she was great. She has a stunning voice, an absolutely beautiful voice. All of her songs are great. Even the new songs that take place in her head when she, loses her voice and she gets her legs, I thought those are great too. But her version of Part of Your World, damn, she's just really good. Her voice was great. She's easily the best part of the film. And she has that fun curiosity look in her eyes whenever she can't speak and she wants to talk to Prince Eric. Prince Eric is also a really good character in this film. He has a lot more to play with here instead of being the guy who Ariel wants to kiss. Now he's like a guy that Ariel wants to kiss, but he has a character to himself. He wants to see more of the world. And I really like what they did with him. And his new song, he didn't have a song in the first film, but his song in this movie was actually pretty good. I found myself thinking, wow, that's a pretty damn good song. A new song that I absolutely hated, though, was the song sung by Aquafina because she plays the character Scuttle, the bird. It was totally out of place with the rest of the movie. I found Scuttle to actually be really annoying, and I fucking hated that character. Scuttle's annoying. Not a hate on Aquafina because I kind of like Aquafina, but damn, Scuttle was annoying, and her song was really bad, so out of place. I know Lin Manuel Miranda has like a really good reputation with Hamilton and all these other films that he's worked on with, lyrics and whatnot, but damn, I didn't like that song. I thought it was too much. It was overbearing, it was annoying, it's too grating to the ears. The lyrics could have been fine, but it's so tonally out of place. The CGI in the film, for the most part, sometimes looks off-putting, sometimes it doesn't. What looks bad is the hyper-realistic flounder and seeing a voice come out of it. It's funny because I like the voice of Flounder in this film. It basically sounds like the voice of Flounder from the original film, to me at least. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I thought, okay, not a bad voice. But seeing it come out of this hyper-realistic fish was really off-putting. And the hyper-realistic Sebastian, the crab, as well as the voice, was kind of off-putting. It's not a good singing voice. And it kind of ruined Under the Sea for me in this film. Because Under the Sea in the original film is a classic. It's a great song. But in this film, paired with the visuals too, sometimes it doesn't look that dazzling or didn't look that interesting when they sang it because it's a giant open space with a few sea animals or a lot of sea animals put in there, but because of the framing of it, it doesn't look that exciting. It does look colorful at points, and I really like the colors in the film, more so when they're underwater. But something about Under the Sea, it's the singing voice of the voice actor who plays Sebastian, and the regular voice of Sebastian is really off-putting, and I didn't think it would have fit that character well, especially since everyone's so used to Sebastian from the original film. And then Scuttle. Scuttle is really annoying. I'm pretty sure everyone found Scuttle annoying. So many people I've seen online talk about the Scuttle song called Scuttlebutt. It's too much, it's too overbearing, and that character, I didn't like that character. Not a rip on Aquafina, the character and the writing for that character. It didn't really feel like Flounder had anything to do in this film, nor Sebastian, nor Scuttle. Did they really add anything to the movie? They just seemed to be there because they had to be there. Like in Mulan, the live action remake of Mulan, there's no Mushu. I'm pretty sure there could have been no side characters like this in this movie, but we needed someone to sing Under the Sea. And we needed someone to bring in more seats, so we had to make Scuttle Aquafina. I don't care. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. When they first announced it, I thought, oh great, Melissa McCarthy. She's gonna probably bump into things and yada yada. But no, she proved me wrong. I thought she was great in the movie. She looked like she was having a whole lot of fun. She had a really good singing voice too. I don't know if they use auto-tune or not, but she sounded really good. Poor Unfortunate Souls. Is that the name of the song or just called Unfortunate Souls? Whatever. I really liked that sequence. She seemed really cool, funny. She had a few good jokes here and there. She proved me wrong. She was great in the movie. She is the best actor in the film alongside Halle Bailey. I will say this. The first half of the film was kind of a drag to get through. It's kind of boring. It's just, oh, let's recapture the events of the first one because we have to. And because they add more to Prince Eric's character, and because they talk more about, oh, we gotta clean up this shipwreck, and then, oh, humans are bad, and all that stuff, there's just so much extra things. There's so many extra things in this film, and I feel like we could have done without it. We could have done without recreating certain scenes from the first film. It just makes the first half of the film kind of a drag to get through. But once Ariel gets her legs, then the film becomes more exciting. There's more scenes of Ariel and Eric bonding. Those scenes were really fun. Them at a marketplace and them riding the horse carriage. Those were really fun sequences. And Halle Bailey was great. Whoever played Prince Eric, he was great. Great characters, those two. Their interactions make the movie. They're cute and they're fun together. But I did find the last moment of the film, the big fight sequence between the giant kaiju Ursula and Eric and Ariel, I found that to be very underwhelming. It looked cool when she turned big, Ursula, and she was going to cause a ruckus, but Eric did nothing. And at the end of the film, Ariel tells King Triton, Eric helped me. You know, we saved the day and he helped me. I'm like, he didn't do shit. He kind of like dodged Ursula for like a couple of seconds. Ariel is the one who got on the ship and steered the boat to kill Ursula. I think they swapped those roles. I remember Eric killing Ursula in the movie while Ariel was escaping, yada yada. I mean, it gave a fun sequence, kind of, but I just found that moment underwhelming. I expected it to be longer. It just seemed like, oh, it happened, and not much is happening. Like the town's not going to get overrun by water or something, or a bunch of boats are appearing out of nowhere and causing a ruckus, and Ursula is using them to throw them at Eric and Ariel and yada yada. No sea animals are arriving to help or whatever. I don't know. It just seems like they could have done more with it. It just came and went. Overall, I really liked this film. I think it's the best live action Disney remake that I've seen. I'm giving The Little Mermaid a B. It was pretty good. I didn't hate it. It's kind of a drag to get through the first half. The second half's just much more exciting and makes up for not a lot going on in the first half. It was pretty good. And I don't care that Ariel's black. If that's an issue with you, then whatever. I don't care, but I just really enjoyed this film, and Halle Bailey killed it. Now let's move on to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, directed by, yet again, 3 people like the first film, but a new set of directors. Joaquim Dos Santos, Justin K. Thompson, and Kemp Powers. This is a sequel to the critically acclaimed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which won Best Animated Picture that year. I'm pretty sure everyone was excited about that. It was the film that deserved to win because of the incredible animation. And yet again, the animation in this film is stunning. It ups the notch and ups the ante of everything in a filmmaking aspect about the first film. But the story is kind of where it lost me at points. So let's talk about everything I adored in this film. I think the animation is great. Looks so much better. There's so many more artistic choices taken. The action scenes are fun and imaginative, especially with the new characters they introduced, like the Spot. Damn, that fun little action scene with him in the beginning was really fun. Miguel O'Hara, one of the new Spider-Man 2099, he's really fun and exciting. There's a pregnant Spider-Woman who rides on a motorcycle. That's really cool. And all the art styles of the different spider people that come together, they flow so smoothly with each other. And nothing looks out of place. Everything looks incredible. And all the action scenes are stunning, and the direction in them is great. The way the camera moves around, it's fucking phenomenal. Anything on a filmmaking aspect was stunning, was great. I loved it. Sound design, kind of lost me at points. I couldn't understand what certain characters were saying in certain moments, especially Spider-Punk. Hoagie, I think his name was. Really cool character. The way he looked, the way he moved, his art style, how it differs from all the other Spider people, but how it blends so smoothly together with the rest of the art styles coming together. It looked great. I thought it looked stunning. But some points I couldn't really understand what he was saying. I don't know if it was the sound design, the sound mixing, or the voice actor, if I couldn't understand him or not. Just a small little gripe I had with that. I love all the new Spider people. I like the reoccurring characters. We get Peter B. Parker and Spider-Gwen. They're still great. Miguel O'Hara, the new pregnant Spider-Woman. I thought she was cool. She had really cool action sequences and a pregnant woman fighting. That's just kind of cool and funny. Spider-Punk, I thought he was really cool. He has some fun sequences with him and uses the guitar. I think that's kind of cool. Paviter, he's really funny. He has some really good lines. And damn, this movie is funny at points. There's a lot of moments where the jokes don't hit. There's a lot of them. But the jokes that do hit make up for it. It's funny as hell at points. But there's some moments where I'm like, the jokes could have been better, or there didn't need to be a joke there. Like there's a moment where there's a fight scene in the beginning in a museum, and a joke is reused from the first film about, oh, I think it's a Pansky or whatever the artist's name is or whatever. I'm thinking there's a gigantic fight scene going on here and people, explosions and shit. Do we really need a, oh, I think it's this art piece? No, shit's happening. Get out of there. We didn't need a joke there. When the jokes happen in like an action scene, they go by really quick. Sometimes they're really funny. Like Paviter, he's funny as shit. All of his lines are golden. But I just wish some of the jokes landed better. But this is a much more serious film at times. It is a much more thematically and emotionally heavy film than the first one. Not to say that Into the Spider-Verse doesn't have its great emotional beats. It does. But this film, Across the Spider-Verse, just has a lot more weight to it at points, even though I don't think it succeeds all the time. We'll get to that in a bit. The pacing is something I have an issue with. I've heard a lot of people say that this film was greatly paced, but at a film that is, I believe, 2 hours and 16 minutes long, it feels like 2.5. It feels like longer, actually, because although I do enjoy basically every scene in this film, there are moments where I'm thinking, we could get this through quicker, maybe. The beginning intro scene involving Gwen, I think it went on for far too long. We could have got a lot of that condensed. And they build her up as a much more of a main character in the film, and she does have an impact on the film, but I think her arc is kind of weak to me, honestly. I still like the character. It's just that her arc seems so weird and out of place involving the rest of the film. And I came to this film expecting a lot of Miles, and we get that, but it takes a while to get to him. I'm honestly saying it might take about 10 minutes, maybe more, to get to Miles. And the beginning intro just introduces why Gwen is in the Spider Society or whatever. And I didn't find the struggles between her and her dad to be all that strong too. I found the resolution to be kind of weak, mainly because I don't know how it involved. I don't see it having that big of an impact on the rest of the film. Maybe her character, but not the rest of the film. I wanted to see more of Miles and stuff. And when we get to that, it's kind of slow too. All of his scenes are kind of slow. And as much as I enjoy them, I'm thinking we can get through this a little quicker. Come on, a little quicker, a little quicker. I just wanted the film to keep going because the big chunk of the film is all the spider people coming together and the Spider Society and yada yada. It takes a long time to get to that. It really does. I'm seeing people praise the pacing of this film. I think it's kind of slow. I think it's too slow. And then my biggest issue is the ending. Now, I knew this was going to be a two-parter a long time ago. I was hoping for a much more complete ending. Look at Infinity War. Infinity War and Endgame. It's basically a two-parter. Infinity War has its own ending. It feels like its own movie. I expected that coming into this film, that Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse would be their own separate movies. But instead, we're getting the first half of a movie. And as much as I enjoyed this film, I still really, really dig this movie. I do not like the way it ended. Very minor spoilers right here. I don't like the way that Gwen just rallies up all the spider people together at the end of the film. Like, oh yeah, we're all going to go against Miguel now, even though Miguel has like solid reasonings. Even though when you think about the film and the fact about why Miles is in his situation, the more you think about this certain situation, like when you really think about it, it's kind of like a small plot hole, but for now, it seems like a plot hole until we get to the next movie. I don't want to spoil that moment because it was a big moment spoiled for me because I don't read comics. I don't. I enjoy these films based on how they're presented to me. Of course, there's certain things I know from shows and whatnot. There were certain things I didn't know that got spoiled for me through memes and stuff because no one likes to put up spoiler slides anymore. And it's a big thing involving Miles at the end of the film. Once that happens, it feels like the movie just ends. Gwen's like, oh yeah, I got all these. I found my band because in the beginning, I quit the band, but now I found my band. I'm like, I don't get anything from that. And then the movie ends on like the huge cliffhanger. I was actually pissed off. It feels like the end of a TV episode rather than the end of a movie. Like, oh, find out what happens next time. It doesn't feel like it has its own conclusive. I feel like we could have gotten 20 more minutes to get a much more better ending, because the Spot, as cool as he isn't in the movie for that long, because we have to build up Miguel O'Hara as a bigger villain. Although he has valid points, the Spot's not in the movie for that long. He has one, two, three. He has 3 scenes in the movie, I think. Like 3 big scenes. He has like one small moment at the end where he's like drawing power. He's gonna fuck shit up. But damn it, I wanted more of him in the movie. I wanted him to feel like a bigger threat, because he's a huge reason why certain things happen near the end of the movie. And the fact that he has that much of an impact, but he's not in it that much, kind of lessens the blow a little at points. I thought the soundtrack was great. There's no distracting moments. Like that one song, "I'm not scared of the dark," in the first movie, it's like totally out of place for the rest of the movie, especially the scene that it fits in the first movie. There's nothing like that. I thought all the soundtrack choices were great. I thought the score pieces were great. They all accomplish what they're supposed to do. Add on to the emotions of the scene that they're in. Did I love Spider-Verse? Maybe. I'm close to it. I think it's too long. The scenes are too long. The pacing could have used better working, or it could have been longer and had a much more satisfying ending, rather than just feeling like part 1 of a movie. But I still really enjoy this film. Looks great. The animation's great. Action scenes are great. Fun and imaginative. Score, soundtrack was all great. I really, really, really dug this movie. I want to watch it again at some point, but for now, I'm giving Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a B+. I am excited for the next film, Beyond the Spider-Verse, which thankfully is coming out in a year. I just wish that this film had a better conclusion, that it felt like an ending to its own movie, because for now, it feels like it's just going to be Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one movie, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse is just going to be one movie. So I might have to watch those two as a 5-hour movie. I still think the first one was better. It's a much tighter script. That's just how I feel about it now. Who knows? I might love this movie on my next viewings. But for now, B+. Really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Okay, now let's talk about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, directed by Stephen Cable Jr., not Travis Knight, who directed Bumblebee, which I just finally watched the other week, and I thought it was pretty good. And this film I found to be pretty good too. Is it the best Transformers movie? I think so. I think it's the best movie, although I do have a lot of nostalgia for Transformers. That original trilogy, 1, 2, and 3, Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. And although Dark of the Moon is my favorite because it has the most interesting story and the third act is the coolest third act in any Transformers film, this film structurally is the best Transformers film. It has the most interesting human characters, even though they still have their dumb moments. The CG isn't as good as the first. It's weird because the CG in these films, the Bumblebee movie and this movie, excluding the CG in that opening Cybertron fight scene in Bumblebee, the CG in here just doesn't hold a candle to any of the Michael Bay CG moments. But that's not to say they're bad. There's just certain moments where they look iffy. You know, it doesn't look bad. It just sometimes it looks like a really good video game cutscene. But I think it's the cinematography and the way it's framed and the backgrounds of them and the color grading that just makes it look a little off at points. Anyways, let's talk about the plot of the film. The main characters, whose names I forgot, team up with the Autobots and the Beasts. I think they're called the Terracons or something. I don't know. They team up with them so they can find these artifacts that these other evil Transformers are trying to find. And if they do, they put them together, and then Unicron, the giant planet-eating Transformer, comes to Earth and he'll eat it. Because this key will take you anywhere you want in the universe throughout time, yada yada. So that's the MacGuffin. That's the item that they have to get in this film, because every Transformers film, except Bumblebee, has that. That's weird. Every Transformers film has the item. The first one was the Allspark, the cube. The second one was the Matrix of Leadership. The third one was the pillars. The fourth one is the seed. The fifth one is the talisman, the sword, whatever, and then the staff. Bumblebee doesn't have that, but Transformers Rise of the Beast does. What I think the best Transformers film is, has the same issues that those first films have. They have to find the thing, and the thing falls to the wrong hands, and then the thing does a thing. I'm saying thing a lot, but there's moments where it just felt like that. There's a funny moment where the key, it's called a key, it goes off. The Transmorpher key, that's a dumb name for it. It goes off, and there's this giant beam of the sky, and I'm like, oh shit. I wonder how this is going to work out. Turns out only the Transformers can see it. Like, what the fuck? What? I mean, it was a way to get out of the moment. Like, oh, all the humans are going to go there, but no. Only the Transformers can see it. That's so dumb. The human characters. I think they're the most interesting human characters. I did like Charlie, I think her name was, Haley Steinfeld's character in Bumblebee. I did like her, but I hated her dynamic with every other human character in the film. The human characters in this film are a little more interesting, and we don't focus on military characters and we gotta hunt down the Autobots because there might be bad people, and then we gotta fight the Decepticons. No, we just focus on like two main human characters. This guy who has a sick brother who lives with his mom, who's in the military, and his brother's character is just that he's sick. I didn't feel like an extremely strong emotional connection to that, and the way that brother character reacts to seeing Transformers is like, whoa, cool, a giant. Not like, oh fuck, it's a giant. I'd be scared shitless if I was a kid and I saw a giant robot out of nowhere like that. I just hate the way certain characters like that act in here. The human characters too, they just fully accept and join the ride for these Transformers, and they like have no fear. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna fight to save the Earth. I just don't like the way it feels at moments like that, you know? The main female lead, she just seems to be there to spout out information like, oh, these signs and these things lead us to this. Oh no, it's this actually. She's kind of interesting, but that seems like that's all she's there for. But she's not a terrible character. I didn't hate her character. I liked her character. And I liked the main male character. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Noah. Noah's his name. I just can't remember the main lady character, her name. Great actress. She was in Judas and the Black Messiah. Dominique Fishback. Her character's name is Elena. Yeah, she's great in Judas and the Black Messiah. She's good in this too. She has some cool moments. Noah has some really cool moments too. Yeah, I'm not gonna count as a spoiler. Who's gonna see this? So you spoiled it for me. He has a suit in the trailers. Like Mirage gives him a suit. And he does some cool shit. Like, finally, the human characters do something. Sam in the original trilogy just runs around and goes, Optimus, Bumblebee. And he doesn't do anything. And I hate this thing that the Transformers films do where the Decepticons shoot off a small part of them. Like, okay, tiny little Decepticon, go fight the human character because it's too hard for us to shoot a giant laser at them. In the first film, I forget the name of the small Transformer that sneaks around on Air Force One or whatever that Sam kills with a DeWalt saw or something. It's really stupid. And then in this movie, Scourge, who is played by Peter Dinklage, who was pretty good in the movie. He sounds like a really menacing villain. He shoots off us two small pieces of him, like, go kill those humans and get the key for me. And then it just leads to them running away from these things that could shoot them or could stab them, and they sneak around them, like, instead of just going full out ballistic on them, even though they're just humans who have no weapons on them. Except for a moment where Noah has like a cool hand weapon on him. I thought that was kind of cool. At first it just serves as a flashlight, and then he realizes it's a gun. I think that was kind of funny. It's dumb, but it's kind of funny. It's cheesy, whatever. But yeah, the human character does some cool action stuff. Like Elena, she has to turn off this machine at the end, so she's kind of jumping on some things and running around and stuff. But Noah gets a full-on suit with like blades and guns and thrusters and stuff. It's legit cool. The suit looks cool. he looks badass in it, and he's doing things rather than Sam just running around going Bumblebee, Optimus, and then he hides in the corner or something, and then he punches Patrick Dempsey. That's stupid. But at least Mark Wahlberg had like a sword gun. It was like a little gun that he like held like a. It was a sword that he held like a gun, and he shot things. But it's so impractical. Like, why would you like? What soldier are you gonna have that uses a gun that's the size of a human gun, basically? But at least Mark Wahlberg did stuff in there. Like he joined the fight at points, and then they completely forget about it in the next movie, and he does nothing. But Noah, he's doing stuff. Like he's fighting the main villain, and that fight scene was really fucking cool. The action, I really like the action in this film. The third act of the film, I think might be a little too much. It's really loud. My girlfriend watched it with me. She had vertigo a while before, and it was really loud for her, and she was holding her ears like this. I'm like, God damn it. I made her see this with me because I wanted her to see it with me, and it's too loud for her, but she liked it. She said it was really good, and so I'm glad for that. A lot of special effects. It's a big giant special effect extravaganza, but that's kind of what we wanted out of these Transformers films. We just want to see robots beating the shit out of each other with not so much dumb human drama pushing it down. The film kind of moves pretty quickly, moves very swiftly, except for the moment we have to introduce our human characters and their dilemmas and yada yada yada. But after that, it just kind of moves along pretty quickly. We don't get a lot of time to stop. I kind of like the pacing of this film. I think this film was paced better than Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is 2 hours and 16 minutes. Transformers Rise of the Beast is 2 hours and 7 minutes. Yeah, it's shorter, but I think the pacing is so much better. It just gets onto it. We don't get time to breathe. And I know it's not as thematically heavy as Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but it moves along quicker, and it's fun. It's just really fun. I think Across the Spider-Verse is the better film because there's a lot of dumb things that happen in this movie too. Especially the very ending of this film is stupid. Mirage, played by Pete Davidson, was honestly the best part of the movie. Pete Davidson honestly scared me because I like Pete Davidson. I think he's a funny-ass comedian. He's a good actor too. He's great in The King of Staten Island. He has a really good performance in that film. It seems like a really personal thing for him. But when they cast him here, I'm like, shit. Are they gonna have good jokes for him, or is he just gonna be the joke machine? But no, he's funny. Pete Davidson's the best part of this movie as Mirage. He's funny as shit. He has some really good jokes in it. All of his references, and there's a moment where he gets tackled by like a rhinoceros, one of the beasts transforms, whatever, and he screams like a little girl. And when I first saw it, like as the clip, I'm like, no, but seeing it in the film, in the context, I don't know, it just made it so much fucking funnier to me. Pete Davidson's great. He has some great lines in this film, and I like his connection with Noah. This is the perfect Transformers movie, I think. It's not an amazing movie, but I do think it's a good movie, and it's exactly what it needs to be. It's quick. It keeps moving. The human character drama doesn't take up the majority of the movie. Action's fun, although it's not as spectacle nor great looking as the first Transformers films, the first three. Those films have some of the best CGI ever. No doubt about it in my mind. And the CGI in these films, they're kind of good. Except Optimus Prime's face looks really stupid. Why couldn't they keep his design from the Travis Knight film? He looks so much cooler in that movie. He looks stupid in this movie. There's certain moments where like Optimus Prime is talking where he's like, "Oh my god, Autobots!" Like it's like he doesn't have time to like breathe in between his lines. It feels like either Peter Cullen like just spoke really quickly, like, "Autobots, there's something in the sky, roll out!" Like it didn't seem like he had a moment to breathe. Either Peter Cullen was just speaking really fast, or the editing where the editors have his audio clips, they just put them right next to each other rather than like putting a gap in between or something, you know? So he has moments where he's like talking. So let's just, I'm just going to say a random thing. "The spaghetti was good. Another plate." Like, shit, breathe, man. Or editors, give him some space. Okay, now I'm gonna say the dumbest thing in this movie. There's gonna be a spoiler. Noah has a job interview at the end of the film. He's talking about how he went out of country. There's a gap in his resume, and like, oh, we know it. Yada yada. You saved the world. This guy opens up this gigantic fucking wall to a giant military base. He's like, we need someone like you. We're a secret military section. Yada yada. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be Sector 7 from the first Transformers film, the team that worked with Transformers shit, you know? But no, Noah gets the card. He turns it over, and before I watched this film, I saw a review from one of my movie reviewers, Ralph the Movie Maker. I follow his letterbox, and he says, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending of the film was so bizarre. I turned to the person next to me and said, wasn't expecting that. I'm thinking, now what could this be? I was thinking, did I miss what he was talking about? Or was he just, I don't know. So Noah turns the card over that this guy gives him, and it says G.I. Joe. I laughed my fucking ass off, and so did my girlfriend. It was the most bizarre, stupid shit I've ever seen in my life. So I guess fucking G.I. Joe and Transformers are gonna cross over. I think they might have done comics involving that, but to see in a live action film, I think that's gonna be so fucking stupid, and I'm all in for it. Okay, this is gonna be so fucking bizarre and insane. I'm all in for it. This is gonna be fun as shit. Okay, now I did like the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes Origins movie, whatever. I enjoyed it, but what the fuck? Unicron, a giant planet-eating transformer. Right? He's a giant fucking planet that eats planets. He's a giant fucking transformer that eats planets. A planet-sized, circular, spherical, planet-shaped transformer planet that eats planets is gonna come to Earth, and the Transformers and the G.I. Joe are gonna team up to stop it. Just fucking bring in the Fast and Furious next. So Dominic Toretto goes, it's not a family. And then they fucking drive the cars and... oh my fucking god, just do that, please. It's so fucking stupid. I'm all in for it, though. G.I. Joe. There's no way they thought we would take that seriously. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck is G.I. Joe and Transformers together gonna make something serious? Like, they better not have extremely emotional human beat moments in that movie. It just better be balls to the wall action. I'm all in for it. I'm giving Transformers The Rise of the Beast a B-. It's holy shit. It's so fucking funny. God damn it. I'm so hung up on the G.I. Joe shit, but this movie was really enjoyable. I liked it. And damn it. My grandma would have loved this movie. She passed away earlier this year, and I refrained from saying it I actually said it in my Guardians 3 review, but I cut it out before I posted it. But I knew she would have loved that movie, and she would have loved this movie too. I was looking forward to these movies with her, but oh well. What did you think about all of those movies? Did you like them? Did you hate them? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So yeah, bye.